A dog in Louisiana recently tested positive for COVID-19. The dog is the first pet in the state reported to catch the virus. So what does this mean for pet owners? Dr. Adriana Smith, a veterinarian with the SPCA, joins us via FaceTime this morning with some more information. Good morning, Dr. Smith.
Good morning.
Okay, so when you hear about a pet testing positive for COVID, and I understand that other people in the household also had COVID, is there any indication, does the dog get it from the people? Do the people get it from the dog? How does that work?
So it's correct. So there's no need to be alarmed, and I don't want any of the viewers to be alarmed, but yes, the people in the household were in fact positive for COVID. And so that's typically how the pets in the household become infected. Just like one of us would become infected, there is close contact within the household. So every member of that house was positive, and their dog in fact became positive for COVID.
Now, do we know if the dog was exhibiting any symptoms of, just acting differently? I guess, because the question is, how did they know to get the dog tested?
So in this case, no, this dog was in fact symptomatic, but typically signs that we would see are very similar to those that one of us would have. Lethargy, fever, respiratory signs like coughing, shortness of breath. But in this case, unfortunately, this dog was asymptomatic.
Was asymptomatic?
Correct. Asymptomatic, okay. No clinical signs at all.
But was still tested?
Correct. Because everyone in the house was with kind of signs of COVID, they went ahead and tested this dog for signs for the COVID-19 virus. Yes.
Now, you were telling me a minute ago when we were chatting that it's actually not easy to test animals, so it's really not recommended to just give your, cat or dog a COVID test just because.
Correct. The CDC, the USDA, the AVMA, all of our veterinary and kind of U.S. Resources are telling us that there is no reason, and it's not an easy test to do for our pets. So this is not something where you can just bring your pet in and say, hey, I want to get my pet tested for COVID. This would require both our state and national level laboratories to become involved. And then it kind of goes into a much bigger database and nationally reported to the state and national levels if we needed to do a test on your cat or dog, correct?
Now, we've heard about the guidelines. If you are COVID positive at home, maybe try to stay away from your pet if you can to avoid getting them sick. What if you're not sick, but you still want to, take every measure to protect your dog or cat? What should you do as far as, taking him out to a dog park? Should you avoid stuff like that, or taking him on walks?
So, yes, and I can definitely appreciate that this is a time now with all the restrictions in place that we are spending a lot more time with our cats and dogs at home. And so we may be just kind of quarantined, and we do want to just get them out, maybe on walks, and just be more active ourselves. So, yes, we can go kind of to walks, maybe not the dog park's not the best idea because there's more people there. So if we're going to be doing things at home, maybe just kind of our routine, just hand hygiene, before we prepare our food like we would for ourselves, just wash our hands before and after dealing with treats. Because yes, we know that we can be asymptomatic carriers. So wash your hands before feeding our pets. Maybe just not doing as much kind of facial snuggling where we're letting them lick our faces where germs can be spread that way. And then again, if we're going out in public, maybe not letting our pets interact with strangers, not doing dog parks or regular parks where they may go up and meet new people that we don't know because we don't know other people's status.
Right.
So kind of going out, but not meeting strangers, just like we wouldn't do right now.
Yeah, just use a little extra caution. All right, Dr. Adriana Smith, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
8:17 now. Here's Shelby Latino.